Hey guys, Scott with Grey Mac. Are you tired of your toilet paper sitting here or here? Well, let me show you how to fix that problem and get it hanging right here where it should be. Stick around, I'll show you how to do it. Alright guys, so this is the toilet paper holder that we're installing today. It's going to match all the rest of the hardware in our house. Please forgive the baby screaming in the background. So one thing you need to keep in mind, there's a couple of places to mount it. Obviously the cabinet, and then based on your situation it could also be the wall. So a lot of these will come with obviously the mounting bracket that you want to use. Then also they come with these anchor points that you can use in drywall. So if you don't have a stud you can drill into, you can use these anchor points. Today we're going to be putting it directly into the cabinet. So there's a couple of things to keep in mind with cabinets. One, you need to check and make sure it's going to be thick enough to support just screwing directly into your cabinets. If this is a thin piece of veneer or just a thin piece of wood here, you want to get something like an anchor. So I've got these anchor points here that I have bought in the past and used off of Amazon, super cheap. But what they do is, obviously, here you can reach in the backside, so you can put it on the backside, screw it in, and it basically gives you extra support for whatever you're going to be hanging onto the cabinet or onto your wall, whichever you want to do. Luckily mine is thick enough here that I can screw directly into the cabinet. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to find the placement point, so wherever you want to put it. So in my last cabinet, they're exactly the same from downstairs and upstairs. I put it about right here. And so what you can do is you can take a pencil, mark the holes if you want to. What I've done is just put it right here. I'll put the screw on the drill and I'll just drill it straight in. Also, keep in mind too, you may want to pre-drill your holes. So sometimes what will happen is, depending on the wood, if you don't pre-drill, the screw will cause the wood to split. It didn't downstairs and I was fine, so I'm not going to pre-drill this one. But keep in mind, you may want to consider pre-drilling your holes with a smaller bit than your screw, so that way it doesn't have to displace so much wood, which then causes the crack. So let me show you how to do that. All right guys, if you do need a pre-drill, you want to make sure that whatever bit you use is smaller than the drill, because you want to make sure that the teeth on the screw will dig into the wood. So this one's a 3/32 bit. What I can do is I can put this bit in the drill and then line it up and then go ahead and pre-drill some holes here. Like I said, downstairs it didn't matter in our other one, but it may matter for you and you might want to do that. All right guys, so if you don't have to pre-drill, I've got my drill set up. I like to use this drill driver with a sliding sleeve. It just keeps things easy. It's magnetic, so it holds the screw on there. Slide that up over the screw and then you don't have to hold it, so you get a free hand. And then what you want to do is line it up. So I know based on my measurements, this is where it should go. Now another thing to keep in mind too is if you have hardware like we have for this sliding drawer here, you want to check behind there and make sure you're not going to drill into that hardware and there's not going to be any issues there. So I've already checked. I know this is the right spot where I want to put this and at the right height. So that's why I'm going to put it in right here. So I will show you guys where I line it up and then I just push it in right here and then slowly work the screw into the cabinet. And obviously it's going to be a pain. Now keep in mind if you pre-drill this, it will be a lot easier. So this one's kind of being a pain today, so I think I'm going to go ahead and switch bits real quick and then just do a quick pre-drill. So that way I know it's going to work exactly where I need it. So right there, I've got my first drill bit in. Now you can set up 2 different drills to help you with this process. I do that sometimes if I'm drilling a lot of holes. So now we got this piece, and then I need to get my screw. And then once you pre-drill, it really makes things easy. You just slide your sleeve over. I typically will turn this dented part down because that's where my set screw is going. And then I just put it right here, line up the screw, and then just drill it on in. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind when you're drilling into cabinets and things, or anything really. You just want to keep a nice firm pressure on the screw as you're putting it into the wall. You definitely don't want to strip the head of the screw, which can cause some issues. Another thing is, I'm just going to pre-drill this hole. That made putting the screw in the cabinet so much easier. And then we'll just switch heads again. Then take the screw and just put it right in the cabinet. You see how much easier that is when you pre-drill? Also, make sure one thing you do whenever you screw into something like this is a little bit softer. You don't want to over tighten this. So you want to make sure it's nice and snug, but if you keep turning, you can strip basically all the threads out of the wood, and then you have to. All right guys, now that we've got this anchored in really nice and tight, we're gonna put this on. So keep in mind, when you see this, there's that set screw that's here on the bottom. You want to back that all the way out so you can get this on. There's a lip right up top, and this lip will sit right on top here. And then what you want to do is just slowly tighten up your set screw until you get it exactly where you want it. All right guys, now for the final step, and that's taking the toilet paper and sliding it on. Now you have a functional toilet paper holder. It's not taking up space in your cabinet or on your toilet. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks for watching.